Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back for part two. I'm just going to get right into it. Let me start the timer. Alright, it's started. Alright, so next record is A Tribe Called Quest with... I adjusted the lighting. Apparently it's still a glare. But The Low End Theory by A Tribe Called Quest. Now, A Tribe Called Quest is one of my favorite groups probably of all time, especially when it comes to hip-hop. And this is probably my favorite of their albums. Midnight Marauders is like almost like at the same level as this album, just under. For a short period of time, I actually considered that my favorite Tribe album, but I've come around with this one, and I would consider this my favorite one. Their record that came out last year, we thank you for your service. That was a great album. Frankly, I think it was maybe a little bit overrated, but it was still a fantastic album considering it had been like 20 years since they released an album, and then they come out with something that's still, such a good rap album. It just shows you how talented they are. With this one, nothing. It's just a double LP. There's no inserts. A little bit boring, but great album. So, next one I want to show is the Avalanches' newest album, their second album, Wildflower. This, I really, really enjoy this album. I wasn't necessarily expecting to, going into listening to it. I was just kind of expecting it to be sort of a one-off. Like, I'll listen to it and it'll be like, okay, that's pretty good, but whatever. I actually really enjoy this. Since it came out and since I got it, it's one of the more played records in my collection. I'll show you here. It's got some really nice inserts. There we go. It kind of looks like sort of like a jacket. It's kind of got these colors and words and everything stitched into it. And then on the back has this Frankie Sinatra. That was the little peace sign. Which Frankie Sinatra is one of the best tracks on this album, though it gets stuck in my head like crazy. Anytime I listen to that, it's stuck in my head all day, maybe even the next day. Which, even though I love the song, it gets annoying. And then it's got the picture of Biz Markie. It says Noisy Eater, and then it has just the liner notes on the back of that. But yeah, really, really great. Basically, it's like a hip hop album, really. But it's not like your everyday normal hip hop. It's kind of like an electronic type of sample heavy sampling. But yeah, anyways, great record. Go listen to it. I would definitely recommend it. Next one is the band's first album, The Band. I believe this would be considered probably their second best album behind Music from Big Pink, which I don't have that on vinyl, but I have it on CD over here. To me, they're both great. I'm not even going to say which one's my favorite because I'm not really sure out of the two which one I would choose over the other. They're both really great. It's got a nice gatefold, some pictures of them recording it and performing some songs. As you may know, the band was Bob Dylan's touring band and session band and everything for a while, and then they decided to go on their own and make their own band. Bob Dylan was still a part of it. It wasn't like they just were like, we don't want to be with you, we don't want to make music with you anymore. They just wanted to kind of actually put out their own records. Looks like I got it for $10 used. I actually remember what store I got that from too. Next up, the Beach Boys, the almighty Beach Boys. All love Beach Boys. This is All Summer Long. This one's a reissue. It's not super old. As you can see, I got it for $6 at FYE, if you've ever been to those stores. This one's got I Get Around on it, which is one of their biggest songs they ever put out, as you probably know that. It's got Windy. It's got Little Honda. We'll Run Away. And it's got a song called Do You Remember, which I always really enjoyed that song. It's only a minute and a half long, but it just talks about some like influences of theirs. Basically, do you remember when such and such put out this song, or what, stuff like that. It's kind of an ode to artists that they really enjoy. Next up, one of the most essential records there is, Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. Amazing psychedelic rock album, which when you think of Beach Boys, you don't necessarily think psychedelic rock, but with this album, it's kind of psychedelic rock in the most perfect form, besides maybe some, Beatles albums. But it's really nothing special about the record or anything like that, or the sleeves. It's just a, nice Beach Boys album. The music's fantastic. It's got Wouldn't It Be Nice, That's Not Me, which was always one of my favorites. God Only Knows, I Just Wasn't Made for These Times, another one that that's one of my favorite tracks on the album too. Alright, moving along, getting into some more rap here with the Beastie Boys. I hope you can see that alright. It's their first album, Licensed to Ill. They just remastered, reissued it a couple months ago. Probably, I think it came out in October, if I remember right. It is like the 30th anniversary. Here, I'll show you the gatefold. The three Beastie Boys looking extremely serious. Well, two of them are looking serious, and of course Ad Rock looks like looks like a goofball, but that's kind of his whole thing. But yeah, this is one of the most essential rap records there is out there. It's got songs like, of course, Paul Revere, oh Jesus, Hold It Now, Brass Monkey. God, I'm really blanking on it right now. But it's I know I look stupid, but it's a great album. If you like rap, go listen to it. It's really kind of a goofy, it's sort of a party rap before like the party rap now. It's party rap that you can actually kind of enjoy. Next up is their second album after Licensed to Ill, Paul's Boutique, which is probably a better album. Sometimes I like Licensed to Ill better, but this is more often probably my favorite. Got kind of see with this album, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it in the video, but it's actually, it folds out really cool into like this big panoramic photo. I mean, it's probably not going to fit on the whole shot. Ugh. But yeah, it's a really cool like whole panoramic shot, and it does the same on the back where you can actually see like the streets of New York and kind of the area that they grew up. And it's really cool. This album is it has more of a serious tone to it. It's not so party friendly. It's actually got some sort of political ideas on it, some social ideas. It's not simply just like, hey, we're here to have fun, we're here to dance and party and rap and look stupid. It's like they're getting more serious with it. I'd like to have Check Your Head, or yeah, Check Your Head. I don't know, I thought that was wrong. I'd like to have that. Do they have it on vinyl? I think they have it on vinyl, right? You can probably find it. All right, now we're on to my Beatles collection, which isn't super big. I do have every album of theirs combined with vinyls. I mean vinyl, not vinyls. Vinyl. I can't believe I just said that on camera, and I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. Great. I do have all their albums, vinyl and CD combined. First one to show with the Beatles, their second album. I have Please Please Me on CD. With the Beatles, there's not really much to say because everyone kind of knows their music at this point. Pretty much everyone loves the Beatles. So I'll just say my favorite song off this album, maybe Money, That's What I Want, which is actually a cover. but which they did quite a few covers in their early days, and then they kind of started to get away from that, just like a lot of those old bands back in the day. And it looks like the time is up on this video. The next video we'll start off with Rubber Soul. It looks like, yes, Rubber Soul by the Beatles, and I'll talk to you guys later.